Hello.
Hello.
So, like any recipe, you start off by washing your hands.
Now we're making
nachos.
nachos supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna preheat the oven to 425 degrees.
Now we're gonna line our baking sheet with foil. Now we're gonna put a tablespoon of oil into our skillet. Heat the stove to medium.
Now I'm gonna dice an onion and put it in the skillet that we just put our oil in.
Now I'm gonna put a pound of ground beef into the skillet. Add the onions in the ground beef. We're gonna let it cook for about 5 to 6 minutes. So now I'm gonna drain the oil from this. I'm gonna add a dash of garlic salt. It's not open. Now I'm gonna add in 1 bag of original taco seasoning and then mix. Now I'm gonna add in the refried beans.
Now we're gonna put our first layer of chips down. We're gonna add half of our meat.
Now we do another layer of chips. We're using On the Border Tocino Thins. Now I'm gonna add the black beans on top. And now I'm adding jalapeno peppers, diced jalapeno peppers on top. So now we're gonna put this in the oven.
Second timer, 15 minutes, starting now.
Now Sarah's going to take out the nachos.
Now I'm gonna cut my avocado and tomato. Just gonna scatter these.
Now we're making the cheese for the nachos.
Like the cheese dip. Yeah. So Demi's making the queso now.
In a medium saucepan, on medium to low heat, we are going to whisk together evaporated milk, cornstarch, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt until combined. So first we're gonna add in the evaporated milk. Now a tablespoon of cornstarch, half a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Now a half a teaspoon of salt.
Now what are we doing, Demi?
Just bring to a light simmer,
So we're whisking it.
and we are whisking it for no more than 1 to 2 minutes.
All right.
And we are frequently
What are we doing next?
So now we are going to reduce our heat to low. Taking our 8 ounces of pepper jack cheese, we're gonna shred our pepper jack slowly. And then
Okay, now we're letting the cheese melt and stirring it in together. All right, Demi's gonna add the queso now. I'm gonna cut some cilantro leaves. Add the cilantro.
it's empanada time.
So we're gonna start by putting in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
The next step is 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt.
Now we're gonna mix the salt and the flour together.
The recipe is telling us to shred
Frozen
butter.
Half a cup of butter
Yes.
on flour and salt mixture.
That way it distributes evenly and it resembles peas. This is what it looks like. Next, we are going to fill this up with 1/4 cup of water. Add an egg and whisk them together. So. Precisely. Now I pour the water into the bowl and crack the egg open. Now, to ensure that we don't get salmonella, I'm going to wash my hands.
Now, I'm going to whisk the water and the egg together. I'm going to take this mixture and add my egg and water to it. And then I'm going to use a spatula to mix all of it together.
Because
The mixture's too doughy.
and the recipe said it would do this to add 1 tablespoon of water as we go so it can build up. We have switched directions and used our hands because it has been more efficient. So after the dough looks like that, we are going to wrap it and seal tightly with no air inside and put that inside and put it in the refrigerator for
A dough bowl. Okay, so now we're making the empanada filling.
Yeah. Now the recipe says 2 teaspoons into a saucepan of olive oil, may I add.
We're also gonna turn the stove on.
You put the saucepan with the 2 teaspoons of olive oil inside, spread out evenly over medium heat.
So now I'm gonna take the 1 pound of ground beef and put it in the pan.
You add when it's warm. Add a few pinches of salt and pepper and keep cooking until it's brown. Sarah is doing her little meat cooking. I will be dicing onion, red bell pepper. I have the cutting board and the onion and the pepper, and now it's time to dice them.
So Demi is crying while chopping her onions, but now I'm going to chop the red pepper. So we're pouring the grease out of the beef right now. So now we're adding the onions and the red pepper into the beef mixture.
Sarah is now mixing the meat with the vegetables until they are soft, or for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to dice some olives for the next step. We minced 5 olives, green olives.
Demi is adding in the green olives. Added in.
Sarah spilled.
So now I'm gonna add in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, but
Now we're gonna add a teaspoon of ground cumin.
half a teaspoon of ground paprika. So now we're gonna add 1/4 a teaspoon of crushed red pepper.
This is what she spilled. Now I'm going to mix for about 5 minutes.
All right, so we have our dough now, and we're gonna use a rolling pin to roll it out, and then we're gonna cut it into like little circles. Now we're gonna take this bowl and make like circles out of it. Gotta get my baking sheet. I'm gonna take parchment paper and put it on the pans. Now I'm preheating the oven to 400. So now I have to make the egg wash that we put on the empanadas. So I'm just gonna take an egg. Then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of water. Gonna beat this together now. So we're putting these out on the parchment paper.
Now we're gonna use our egg wash and brush it around like this.
On our empanada shells. Alrighty, so now we're gonna take our filling and put it in the empanadas.
Now we are going to fold them into a moon shape and then use a fork to press it down. If this isn't the version of perfect you're looking for, I don't know what is.
Now we're putting the empanadas in the freezer. Alright, we're gonna take the egg wash and put them on our empanadas.
So, and then we're gonna take a knife and stab it so the steam can release. And we used a pastry brush for this.
Okay, now I'm gonna stab.
And this will be in here for 20 to 25 minutes. Hey Alexa, timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Can you put parchment paper in the...
Yeah.
Okay. The empanadas are all done. Now we're making soup.
Alright, so we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the pot.
So we're gonna dice our onions and put them into the pot. Yeah. And we're putting in the onions.
So we're putting this on medium heat and then adding the onions. Now I'm gonna add a pound and a half of the meat, ground beef, into the pot. So we're gonna let that cook for about 4 minutes. Add salt and pepper while they cook. Add in a dash of garlic salt.
And garlic powder.
Now to the mixture, we're gonna add in pinto beans, golden corn,
And black beans.
add chicken broth.
Now I'm dicing the tomato.
I'm gonna add in some green chilies. Now I'm gonna add in 1 bag of original. Turning it to high. Now mix and bring it to a boil.
After the soup boils, let it simmer for an hour.
Chips and cheese are also optional for toppings on the soup.
We are making fajitas now. Yep. And now I'm slicing our steak on this cutting board. So now that I have cut all the steak, we're gonna put it in a sealable bag for the time being and start cutting the vegetables. And we're also gonna put it in a sealable bag. Now I'm cutting the vegetables. I said cut, you're gonna dice all of these. Starting with the onion, and then we'll move on to the green pepper and the red pepper.
So we're putting everything in the bag. I'm gonna be putting some ingredients into a jar. 3 tablespoons of olive oil into the jar. Okay, so now we're doing 1 tablespoon of lime juice. All right, next is half a teaspoon of chili powder. 1 teaspoon ground cumin. Then we have a pinch of salt, so I'm just gonna do a little dash in there. And then some black pepper. So we got our mixture now, and I just gotta shake it together.
So we're gonna pour the marinade, like 1/3 of it, into each bag,
And then
shake it, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for
an hour
and let it sit.
All right, we're just gonna throw these in the fridge.
So now that it's been a little over an hour, we're gonna grab our vegetables and steak out of the fridge. We're gonna start by cooking the vegetables, and then when they are done, like after like 5 minutes, when they're brown and crisp, you're gonna put them on a plate and then throw in the steak right after in the same skillet, and then we'll show you the rest.
I gotta turn my skillet on to medium high heat. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take my vegetables and I'm gonna put them on the skillet. Okay, Demi is now going to take the steak and we're gonna put it in the same saucepan.
Okay, so after the steak is brown, Sarah is going to add the vegetables back into the steak. This, we're gonna use our little potion we made earlier and put it into the mixture that
All done.
it's an optional step. You want to add tortillas to the side because naturally it would taste good.
Now we're making churros.
Okay, so first we're gonna do 1/2 cup of sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now I'm just gonna take a fork because whatever, and we're just gonna mix them together. And wait, no, but we're gonna make the churro dough, and then while we're doing that, we're gonna put vegetable oil into a pan, like a pot. So I'm gonna pour the vegetable oil 1/2 inches into the pan, and then I'm gonna put it and heat it at 350 degrees on the stove.
Hi.
So we're gonna take a cup of water and we're gonna put it in the saucepan. Okay, so Demi's cutting how much butter?
We're cutting it, we're 1/4 cup of butter, but we're cutting it into cubes.
All right, now we're gonna take this and put it in the saucepan. And then into the saucepan.
1 tablespoon of sugar.
And 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Into our saucepan.
And then what we have to do next, bring them to a boil over medium heat.
So we're gonna put the thing on medium low. Okay, I'm stirring the butter in. We gotta get this to boil, and then that is just trying to get to 350 degrees. So now we're measuring 1 cup of flour to put into there. Then I'm gonna mix it until smooth. All right, so we're putting it into a bowl now.
1 large egg into the mixture. Nobody wants salmonella.
1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Now we mix.
Good soup.
Now we put it into a piping bag.
1 plate. Alrighty, what are we doing now, Demi?
We're piping the churro mixture into the thing. Hey friend, come on out.
Hold.
No, hold the bottom.
This part?
Yes. That's I didn't have the proper tools to do the whole fancy type of churro look, so we just cut the piping bag. Hey, she got it out.
Churros all done. Okay, these are our nachos.
You gotta get like the meat in there, guys. In the assignment.
Can I get some water?
How is it? Napkin. What about the nachos?
7.
I give it an 8. Like the nachos.
First food they're trying is empanadas. So
Don't lie.
don't lie to us.
You're not supposed to lie. You have to be honest.
You're not lying. Come on. Tastes like beef.
Okay.
That's coming from a man who doesn't like olives.
I would dip it in hot sauce.
Cut their hot sauce.
Delicious with hot sauce.
Take a bite. I know you guys aren't soup people, but I understand. It might be hot.
It's pretty good though.
Is it
What
good?
you think? What you think?
I think it's pretty good. I'm not much a taco soup guy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good too. Give it a 9.
Yeah, none.
This is the fajitas.
It's a steak.
Yes.
I love fajitas.
There's tortillas. If you would like to add.
So, we are being honest. Veggies are very good. The steak is like
Cooked.
very cooked. They're good. The vegetables are amazing.
I like it.
Me too.
Churro time.
Churros. I can hear Mikey drying his hair.
Oh, that's terrible. You don't want that.
Really good.
Oh, good.
Thanks for watching.